So if you're an agent, regardless of what state you're in, like I'm in South Carolina, but regardless of what state you're in, you are likely hearing the same 3 complaints over and over and over again that are keeping people on the fence. Let's chat about them and talk about how we overcome those objections. First one is the obvious one. I'm going to wait for rates to come down. You hear it, I hear it, TikTok hears it, everyone hears it, right? I'm going to wait for rates to come down. That's honestly more of an emotional decision more than a data-driven decision. And we know that because if buyers had access to data or really tracking data, they would know that mathematically that's not likely to happen. And that's for 2 big reasons. So if you look at data all the way back to the 70s, decade-wise, of where rates have been, sure, we have that 2020 little blip where rates got really low. But other than that, the average interest rate from the 70s to now has been a 7.1. It's gone way above it, up into the 12s, it's gone below it into the 5s, but on average, a 7.1, which is really how we have to make our decisions, right? We cannot keep holding our breath for something that we can't predict. What we do know is what we've seen, which again, rates hitting right at a 7. So the fact that rates have been at a 6.5 or below for a good little chunk of time now means we're actually at a really good spot and buyers are getting a better rate than they would have in the past, technically. Now that doesn't mean that home prices haven't gone up, which makes their mortgage higher. However, if they are on the fence for rates, they will have to stay on the fence possibly forever. So it's really important when you're talking to buyers, not just reminding them like 2020 was a different time and we don't know, giving them the data. Hey, average interest rates have been 7.1 since the 1970s. They're below a 7.1. Do you consider that a positive or a negative? If it's a positive, then it's probably a positive time to buy. The second objective we hear all the time, I'm going to wait for home prices to come down. Okay, that's one option. So again, that's an emotional response, right? That is not a data-driven response, or they would know that mathematically and statistically, that's probably not going to happen. Over the last 70 years, again, going all the way back to the 70s almost, we have only had 4 times that home prices technically went negative, meaning on average, they went below what they were going to be listed as, on average more than they ended up selling at or above. 4 times, 70 years. That's a really low amount, right? And that was during more that 08 time, right? Little housing crash, oopsies. So statistically, home prices are not going to drop significantly. That doesn't mean that in some areas, like we have areas of Charleston where we have a high amount of inventory backed up right against new construction, that's getting tougher and tougher to sell at list price. So